This is not a test, right? This is the real thing. All right. We're on episode 4. We got Nas in the house. My man. He just knocked somebody out over the weekend. We got Arten in the house. Say hello, Arten.
Displayed great jiu-jitsu skill.
Great jiu-jitsu skill right there.
Yes.
Oh, you got the knockout. Congrats, man. That was great. Beautiful performance. You lit him up like
the 4th of July.
Yeah.
Like a Christmas tree.
Yeah, like a Christmas tree. Yes.
Thank you.
Good job, man. That was nice. I always believed in your striking skills.
It's the jiu-jitsu that done it for me. I had to resort back to my roots.
We got Levon. Levon, come here. Levon, come here. Come here.
Come.
Come here. Come here.
Come.
This is how Levon walks around all day. Come here, Levon. Come. Yeah, get him in. This is how Levon walks around all day. Come in here. Come in here. Come in here, Levon. He walks around with his shirt off all day. When he got the tattoos, forget about it. We couldn't put the shirt on him.
What's up, man?
What's up, man?
Okay, we talk right now.
Hey, Levon, how do you feel? November 24th. What's gonna happen?
Is that official? Is that fight official?
Yeah.
Fight Nights Global, everybody.
That's right. He's going for the title.
Title fight.
Going for the
November
title.
25,
November 25th.
25th.
My mistake.
It is dead, man. It is dead. New champion.
What's his name?
Alexander?
No, the champion's name.
I don't remember.
The new champion's name.
Oh! Levan. Hornet Makashvili.
The Hornet.
Yeah.
That's right. We're going for that belt. We're bringing it back here.
100%.
To New York.
Man. 100%.
And then we're taking a trip around the world.
Send this video fight night, man. Send.
Alright.
You want a show? Do you want a show? Let's do show, man.
All right. Thank you, Levon.
This
Levon.
fight is crazy, man. I'm coming. Okay? We train hard. We train hard, man. Look. This one is strong.
Just one finger is enough.
One finger is enough, man.
Thank you, Levon, for your input today.
No problem.
Now put a shirt on.
Nothing fits, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, my man. Okay. Okay.
All right, don't hit my camera. And stop talking loud. All right, let's get this show started. Get out of here, Levon. Get out of here. All right, so listen.
We can't. We're live, man.
Listen.
We're live. We can't anymore.
Huh? No, Isma Kansai. Get out of here. All right, so
We got a few things to discuss. What was
we gotta talk. We gotta talk because I got an in-your-face moment here. I got an in-your-face moment.
What's the in my face moment?
Branch and Luke Rockhold.
Oh, nice.
In your face.
That's good. Wait, what do you mean?
You were the one who
yeah.
said that he's.
Listen, and the fight, they both showed the skills in which way I thought they were gonna win. I thought that David Branch, he has great boxing, so I thought Branch can clip Rockhold, which he did in the first round, but he didn't finish him. And Luke is great. He's sick at utilizing his jiu-jitsu and putting you in positions where you can't move, where you can't escape, and just finishing you there. Whether it's a submission, he's really good at the guillotine. Whether it's a submission or a TKO, he did what I thought Luke would do if he was to beat Branch. I just thought Branch would have it. I guess you can say I was pulling for Branch more than I thought that Branch was going to win, because the fight was 50-50, but Yeah.
I just think
So
Luke
sick.
Rockhold is too good, and he's not at the end of his career. He's
No,
still
he's
in.
not. Not at all. Not
He's
at all.
still in. He's peaking, and you know I don't think that
Can I ask you something?
Branch had enough competition at this level. One, for the confidence that he needs to build, and two, for getting the experience that he needs on guys who are all high
Let me ask
level.
you something about Luke. What did you think of his post-fight interview? And then, did you see the backstage interview that he did with?
I didn't see the backstage. I saw the post fight.
What do you think of that?
That's how he talks.
No, not just the way he talks.
So he's a street dude. He's no
Street?
Yeah, that's him.
I don't know.
You know,
That's not what-
he
even if
called
he is
out
a street
GSP. He wants that money fight too.
No,
he wants
even
the
if he is
belt.
a street
He's
dude.
doing his thing.
No,
He's
no.
he's doing, and that's him. It's not a persona.
No. It's
But
not a
we'll get
persona.
into something else if we're talking
But he's
persona.
Trying to, I feel like he's trying to push something that's not there. You know.
Like
I don't know. The interview is awkward compared to his old interviews.
that's how
it
he
feels-
speaks.
I don't know. If
He's been that guy for a long time.
It's so awkward.
So awkward to you?
Yeah, it was so awkward. These pauses, and it's like he's trying to come with these bars, like this fire stuff that just isn't banging. What he says doesn't bang.
What's
You know,
fire stuff?
Fire stuff, like you know, how, like okay, Connor's Connor. That's like the best of the best at that. But like you know, there's guys out there that would say something and it gets the crowd riled up. Like when John Jones is like Brock Lesnar, meet me in the octagon, and everybody's like, yeah.
Right.
Luke Rockhold wants to have that, but because it looks to me like he's trying so hard to do that is why it's not working out for him.
I don't think you know him
He's trying
too
to
well.
say that thing. He's trying to
he's
do that thing.
been that
and
guy.
it sounds like I'm talking shit. I actually really like Luke.
No,
Luke
but he's
Rockhold a
been
lot.
that guy. It's not like some act that he
Well, if
put
he's
on.
been that guy, to me, he hasn't always been that guy. Because I actually watched the Strikeforce interview back in the day, and he was just like this surfer dude, and that he was like that. Ever since Conor McGregor came around, it's not just him; it's like the whole game. It's like they try to push like talking like.
Well,
for example, Kevin
let's get
Lee-
into that, all right? Because I have that feeling about, you know, I don't know because I don't know too much about this guy, but I think this guy Lee, who's about to fight Ferguson, which I think will be the champ. I don't know if I believe him. You know, Connor, I believe that's the guy. You know.
Kevin Lee.
Yeah, John Jones, I believe that's him. Luke Rockhold, that's him. That's him. He's a badass dude. That's him. He's not super well spoken. He doesn't have this great you know, articulative skills that other people have. He's a street guy, you know, and he's got that tough guy sound.
By the
That's
way,
been him.
we're waiting on Andre Harrison. He should be here any minute. That's the WSOF featherweight champion. He's 16-0.
17.
Yeah, 17-0. Great fighter. I've seen some of his fights. Very potential, UFC worthy. So he's gonna be here in a few minutes, and we're gonna interview him, talk to him.
But let's talk about
Yeah, I just
Ferguson.
wanted to add that in because that's one of the things of today.
Ferguson and Lee. Do you believe this guy? Do you
Ke-
believe he even has a chance against Ferguson?
First of all, I don't know if it's me, but I'm getting this vibe that the spotlight is on Lee, even though I feel like people,
That's what I'm saying. He's talking his game.
yeah, but what the fuck?
I don't know if I believe it though.
Yeah, but Tony Ferguson is the one that is the one. He's the one that Kevin Lee's. Will he get past him? The spotlight is pointed in this direction as if we're waiting to see if Tony Ferguson can get past Kevin Lee, which is the complete opposite way around. Tony Ferguson is the one in the 9-fight winning streak. He's the one with bigger wins. He's the one with.
He's
more
the winner of the
brutal wins.
Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah, a winner of the Ultimate Fighter, and Kevin
He's the
Lee
one
is
who was about to
that's
fight Nurmagomedov when Nurmagomedov
several
couldn't
times
make
in a
couldn't
huge
make
fight
it.
for the lightweight interim belt.
Yeah.
And first of all, this fight came out of nowhere to me, and I'm sure I'm not the only one that was surprised that this fight even came about. How Kevin Lee, of all people, was pushed for an interim title shot, but props to him.
So Kevin
Props to
Lee's
him.
the
He's doing
take your
his
back kid, right? He takes your back. He chokes you out. He's tough. He's menacing. Think he can do that to Ferguson?
What's with the? I was about to say 69 inches in height. I thought that was his reach. Because, okay, let's take a look. These are lightweights. Okay, let's take a look at their reaches first and foremost. This guy's 76, and Kevin Lee, who's 5'9", has a 77-inch reach. Now we always praise Conor, and Conor's whole thing is his long arms, his reach, and how he feels his distance.
But he just
Look
knows
at
how to
this
use
fucking-
it. There are guys with long reach who don't know how to use it.
Kevin Lee is one of them. Kevin Lee.
Why? He's
a
not
good
knocking.
striker.
He's not knocking out all his opponents.
Kevin Lee.
Yeah.
No, I said
He's choking them out.
Yeah, no, I said he doesn't know how to use his reach as well yet.
Oh, okay.
And I think that's just because he's naturally not a striker. Maybe that's what it is. But he doesn't use
Listen,
that
this
77-inch reach as
first of
scary
all,
as it is.
the light heavyweight. I'm sorry, light heavyweight. The lightweight division is stacked. All right, you can't be one-sided. Ferguson is the whole package. He's got everything.
How did Barboza not get a fight with El Kukui in a rematch for the interim belt? How did that fight not come about? Oh, well, I forgot. We're in the era of money fights, so now this fight, I guess, would.
Yeah, Lee's making noise, so that's why he's getting this fight. He's been winning. He's making noise. He's got a persona.
He's doing it in a way I don't like, but who cares what I like? He's making his money. He's doing
Whatever
his thing.
people want.
Yeah.
People want the classic matchup of the good guy versus the bad guy. You know.
I don't like to see the. I don't like to see Kevin Lee act like the way he's promoting himself. I don't necessarily like it, but I like the fact that he's a young kid who's good. He's talented. He's confident. So that's something you can't take away from him.
You don't have to like it.
And this is not good.
Do you enjoy it?
His style?
Yeah, you don't have
Why
to
the
like
fuck
him
not?
as a
Why not?
person, but do you enjoy? You know, the attention he brings to fights?
Yes, and that's why.
That's it.
That's why.
I just don't know if I believe it. I don't know if that's actually him. Conor McGregor, I believe. Certain people, I believe. I think it's like a made-up thing. It doesn't seem natural to me, but I could be
Conor
wrong.
McGregor?
No, Kevin Lee.
Oh, Kevin Lee.
Yeah.
Anyway, but these, you know, I feel like Kevin Lee is that guy, but he's being when he's on camera and on the mic, he's himself times 10, and that's what actually R10 mentioned before. Who did you hear this from? There was like a successful person or something, or a WWE guy. Yeah.
All right, let's break the fight down. What's going to happen here? How do you see this fight going down? R10. What we're gonna do is we're gonna pick fights, all of us, from now on, and then we're gonna have the week after in your face moments. All right? Yes.
Kevin Lee versus Tony Ferguson. At this point in Kevin Lee's career, I don't think he's gonna do as well against Tony Ferguson as he would a little bit later down the line in 2 years. So therefore, I'm gonna go with Tony Ferguson in a classic Tony Ferguson style fight. Break you down, keep going at you, take shots, go at you, because on the ground, Kevin Lee will be able to take Tony Ferguson down. But they're both high-level jiu-jitsu guys, so I don't see them submitting each other unless it's late because of fatigue. Either one of them fatigues, which is also going to be hard to believe that Tony Ferguson will ever fatigue. So I don't see Tony Ferguson being submitted. I see it being a classic Tony Ferguson fight. My final prediction is probably late, 4th round TKO, somewhere on the ground. And Kevin Lee just not being able to take it because of the inexperience of the deep waters, 4th and 5th rounds.
Yeah, that's basically that's a good way to describe it. Ferguson wins. I think he wins easily. I think he dominates.
Kevin's gonna come ready. He's gonna give it a good.
He's gonna come ready, but I still think that Ferguson's too much right now. You know, he's had the experience. He's fought everyone. He's from the bottom up. He's been there. He just hasn't fought McGregor and Nurmagomedov. He's fought everyone else, and he hasn't fought Taisumov either. But we went over that not too long ago. But
actually, Habib. Speaking of Habib, he's the one guy I'm worried with his.
because
style.
he's got the whole package. You take him down, he can work. He's not worried about being
the
taken down.
stylistic matchup with him and Habib worries me more than the stylistic matchup with Conor and Habib. How about that?
You're right. I totally
I was worried more.
I
about
totally
Habib
see Conor knocking Habib out, and I totally see Habib controlling Conor. I see it both ways.
That's what makes these fights so interesting.
But with Ferguson, I don't see him getting knocked out by Conor easily, and I don't see him getting controlled on the ground by Habib easily. So I think Ferguson is he deserves it. You know, will he become the actual champ, facing one of those two guys? I think Habib is he's already skipped over Ferguson, right? He wants McGregor already. I don't think he's in a position to demand. He's been out too many times. He's pulled out on his last fight. You know, he can't demand anymore. You know, he may be popular. He may be famous. You know, people want to see him fight. If they fight in Russia, oh, you can expect some ridiculous numbers in Russia. So, not necessarily pay-per-view numbers, but
the stadium will.
Yeah, stadium numbers.
Russia is just not
yeah.
a pay-per-view country.
Right.
They just have too many sources to watch these fights on stream.
Yeah, you could
They
pack-
actually have their own channels where they.
Yeah, I know.
And it's a legal thing too, but they have their own channels where they.
Yeah, most countries
Yeah,
outside of America, they don't have pay-per-view. They basically have a channel and they subscribe to this channel, and this channel shows the fights. And UFC has a deal, and other organizations have deals with these channels, and you know you can watch them. And same thing in Brazil. So pay-per-view is an American thing. I think it's a Canadian thing as well. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on any of that, but
What do you
I
see
can tell you it's an American thing.
What do you see in their press conferences leading up to the fight?
There's gonna be some
Who do you
trash
think-
talk.
Who do you think
Definitely.
takes that, and do you think they're gonna be able to get in each other's heads?
I don't think Lee could even get into Ferguson's head.
He's not a master at that. He's just somebody that talks and entertains, but he's not a master at
Yeah, I see
manipulating.
Ferguson if he talks about Ferguson's mom, like what do you call it, to Chiesa?
Tony will brush it off, I think.
Yeah, Tony will make him pay for it.
All jokes aside, Tony is actually mentally a really tough fighter.
Yeah, and
to
he's
fight the
tough
way he
everything.
does, yeah, he's tough everything.
He's tough. I mean, I guess he's gone through pretty much everyone, right? Barbosa was a good fight. Dos Anjos was a close fight. Yeah.
This is actually a
That's what I
really
was gonna say.
nice card. We got Bubladov and
Oh, let's move past this. Okay, so Arten, your prediction.
I think Tony first round or second round TKO.
Yeah, I'm leaning more towards a domination. I'm not going to call rounds. I'm leaning more towards a domination of Kevin Lee. Even if Kevin Lee takes his back, I don't think he's going to. I mean, I thought Chiesa saying that, oh, I allow people to put me in those positions. Under the neck, he was about to go out.
I don't know. Yes, he was going out.
He was going out, yeah.
Pretend to go out. That was kind of bullshit.
That was BS, yeah.
He
I don't
didn't go
like
out,
that
though.
with certain fighters. You know what? Take your loss, man. You lost. You know? You lost. You're a great grappler, and you let someone take your back, and you bring it to that point. Please, it's easy to get out. If you know what you're doing, it's easy to get out of someone taking your back, you know? Okay, it's not super easy, but if you know what you're doing, you can get out. And then you got pro fighters who can't escape from Maya, you know, when he takes your back. Listen, okay, so let me rephrase that. If you know what you're doing, you can get out, and you can get out fairly easily. But there are some guys who can use those hooks as well as they can use the seatbelt, you know?
Kevin Lee is one of those guys. He's built not only lanky but strong. Those powerful, long 77-inch arms. They get around your neck, or they're trying to get around your neck. You know, it's hard to. I imagine it's hard to get somebody off like
If
that.
you
It's hard to
notice-
wrist control some
if
upper body like
if
that.
you notice guys like Maya, and I don't know, I haven't really paid that much attention to Kevin Lee. Why are their back takes so powerful?
Their back-
Why do
Kevin
you
Lee?
think they're so dominant
Obviously,
when someone
it's
takes?
technique. Obviously, it's not his. You don't just, even if you're physically strong, you don't just take somebody's back.
So that's
But-
what I was trying to say before you cut me off. The whole point here is they know how to use their legs, and they know how to use their hips. All right, and what they're doing is they're putting so much pressure with their legs and their hips that these guys, they're winning themselves those crucial seconds that you need to get that choke. All right, because if the guy's not doesn't have the technique to control your body with his legs properly and doesn't know how to put in the legs properly, you could get out fairly easily. But these guys are so good at using their hooks, and they know how to tie the body up where you can't get out, because you need to put your hips on the floor.
I don't know what a hook is because I'm a striker. I don't do that ground shit.
Yeah. Well, you have to definitely pay attention to what they're doing and why they're really dominating these guys when you take the back take. But if you know what you're doing, you should get out of it when someone's taking your back. It really shouldn't be that huge of a problem. That's how I see it. But I practice that a lot, and I make other people practice that a lot. And oh man, I have kids that get out of that perfectly. I make them start from back take. But then there are some times where it's not so much technique, it's timing. What happens is somebody jumps on your neck, and I always tell people not to do this, but then there is a right time to basically take that neck. You know how I prefer you take the body, get that seatbelt on, get your position, lock it in tight, and then work the choke. But then there are some times where guys have their hands on the floor, or they're just doing the wrong thing right when someone jumps on someone's back, and that neck is so free, people just put it on, and
I think
it's bad timing.
I think Chiesa, it wasn't lack of jiu-jitsu skill that he gave up the neck. I think it just happened so quick, and he didn't expect himself to make an amateur mistake, because he gave up the neck pretty easy, in my opinion. I don't know if you remember, but he actually gave the neck up pretty easy. He slid on the hook right on there, boom, locked his hands, and it's like a fight. It's a game of milliseconds, and it's like you
Game of inches.
Yeah, game of inches, game of milliseconds. 1 second you're in one position, and boom, the next there's a guy with both arms locked in around your neck, around your head, choking you out, and you're literally seconds away from going out. So I think it was one of those situations. But with that being said, Kevin Lee's still great at his jiu-jitsu. He's physically strong. He's I think youth is going to play in his factor and also against him in the later rounds. That's why I think it's going to be a fight of 4 or 5 rounds and not early like you guys say. Like you guys say, it's going to be domination in 1 or 2 rounds.
I'm thinking domination. I could be wrong.
That's
but
fine.
That's
That's
just what
fine.
I'm thinking.
That's fine.
But we all agree that Ferguson will win, though.
So
You can't underestimate a guy like Kevin Lee.
Right.
He's almost choked out Quinta in his debut.
At 21, the guy's 24 years old, which is why I say his best years are yet to come. I don't
Probably.
think
That's what I'm saying. I don't think he's ready for a guy like Ferguson.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that he doesn't have the skills to get there, but yeah, eventually. I just don't think this is his day. And I think I said that about Branch.
And I know he's confident on the feet, but I actually see a lot of holes in his striking.
So let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on.
Let's move on to the fight after that. I think it's more than just one fight, but Bisping GSP.
Bisping GSP.
Yes. Prediction. I think I already know your prediction. You said it once before.
GSP with a spinning hook kick knockout in the first round.
Yeah.
Not that specifically. I'm joking about that, but GSP is a mixed martial artist. The ideal mixed martial artist. The guy that doesn't do anything perfect and doesn't have any freak abilities or freak. What's his reach? It doesn't say his reach. 0 inches apparently.
They haven't. He hasn't been in the UFC for so long. They didn't measure it.
Reach is an important thing for a guy that knows how to use it. That's my opinion, and that's a fact, I would say. But GSP is a guy that doesn't have any freak attributes, doesn't have any freak abilities.
GSP has lots of abilities.
No, but he's a hard worker, and he is a smart fighter. Those are his freak abilities, his brain.
I think it's going to be a good matchup. I just, for someone who's been out for so long, right? and someone who's been active all this time that he's been out. Maybe a few years ago, I would have said GSP definitely, but I'm gonna go Bisping. And did you hear that Bisping is saying he might retire after this?
Yeah, I heard that.
2 more fights, he said.
2 more fights?
Well, no, this is one of the 2 last fights that he plans to have. GSP GSP. I think with him being 4 years out, I think GSP is such an MMA genius. He's such a smart fighter, such a smart athlete that it won't affect him because he's
And
he's
his
100%.
grappling coach is an is a genius, John Danaher, you know, and his coach from TriStar, Faraz Zahabi.
His brother's actually on the.
Look
He's
at
also another genius.
Look at that. Hendricks fought GSP years ago for the belt. That was GSP's last fight, and now he's fighting God knows who on like a 3-fight losing skid. Johnny Hendricks.
Yeah, let's not jump to Hendricks right now. Let's get back here. Let's get
At
back here.
185. Oh, this is 185.
And I think that George St. Pierre is a freak athlete, okay? And I think he's freakish because he didn't come in as a wrestler and he became a better wrestler than a guy like Johnny Hendricks, all right? George St. Pierre is freakish. He's freakishly strong. He's freakishly smart. He's freakishly athletic. Yes, but 4 years out, I don't know. I can't say that he'll do a good job. I just have to go with common sense right now and give it to Bisping. R10, what do you think?
I think George is gonna win a decision, maybe 4-1, 3-2, mostly stand up. I don't think he's gonna be able to dominate on the ground. I think early on he might be, but classic GSP decision.
Classic GSP
Yeah,
decision.
he's gonna have some, like in the later rounds, 4 or 5. I think Bisping might put it on him, and George will have the cuts and bruises on him,
Right.
like he has been in his last few fights. But I think he's gonna win a decision and become champion.
To be honest with you, I think something weird is going to happen that we haven't seen from GSP. And I can't quite put my finger on it yet. I don't know what it is, but I have a feeling, a strong feeling that something weird is going to happen. Like something weird is going to come out of a guy that used to be such a dominant champion at welterweight, coming back 4 years later at middleweight, versus this shithead that's one of the best trash talkers in the game, and you know his resume speaks for itself. You know, he Dan Henderson, this and that, but getting dropped by Dan Henderson and winning a controversial decision, and then the shit that happened with Anderson Silva, like how he won that fight. Just this guy's nickname is like drama. You know, big drama show, like Golovkin says. So with him and given with the stuff with GSP 4 years out. 30, what is he, 35 now, 36, coming back to 4 years, I think something weird is going to happen. Whether it's on Bisping's end or GSP's end, just the mix of this recipe, it's a recipe for not a disaster, but a recipe for something weird.
Okay.
So I don't have a final prediction.
Recipe for chaos? All right. Well,
Bisping's last 3 fights have had something weird. It's been the Anderson Silva, KO, and then decision,
Right.
and then knocking out Luke on a week's notice, and then getting dropped twice by Dan Henderson and winning a decision. So that's what you mean, right?
Is that the camera that turned off?
Yeah, good.
Fact. JSP. You ever heard?
well, speaking about weird,
you ever heard GSP
speaking
talk?
about weird thing that
Of
happened.
course you GSP. Of course you heard GSP talk. I hung out with GSP. Sounds exactly in person like he does on the mic. Thank you.
Speaking about weird thing that happened, Gennady Golovkin, GGG versus Canelo. Weird thing, or they're making too big of a fuss over it?
The weird fucking thing is the judge that had a 118, 110.
Yeah.
That's the weird thing that happened. You know, when you have 2 guys that are at the pinnacle of the sport, it's without watching. I haven't watched the fight. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Oh, I watched.
And I don't have a scorecard for it, obviously, because I didn't watch it. But I know that when 2 guys are that good, there will never be a fight that's 118, 110. Neither guy will ever drop 10 rounds to the other, because they're both guys that are that good, that skilled, that they.
How could you not watch one of the biggest fights
Because I was
in
busy
boxing.
getting my knockout in Philadelphia, and I was on the way back
Yeah,
to
okay.
Brooklyn.
All right, that's a good excuse. Artem, did you watch the fight?
Yeah, I did. I had it 7-5 Triple G.
7-5 Triple G. Do you think it was a travesty, giving it a draw?
I think it's unfortunate that the decision is overshadowed.
Then we're gonna bring Levon in here again,
No.
standing behind the window talking shit.
Like, it sucks when a bad decision overshadows how good the fight was,
Yeah.
and they kind of stole Triple G's moment.
You know, I was watching the fight in the car driving back from Brooklyn. I had a christening that I went to, and I don't think I watched the whole fight perfectly. The end of it, I got home and then I watched it, but I have to say, man, Canelo was hitting him and he was making him miss. It did not look to me like an absolute destruction of Canelo. I think a draw is not that.
Like I said, it can't be a destruction of either one unless one catches the
No,
other.
but everyone's like,
uh,
you know, they're creating such a huge travesty out of this. It's not. I think that, hey, they did have in their contract immediate rematch, right? So they can make twice the amount of money for this fight, and then hopefully there'll be a actual winner
Tango.
next time.
Have you seen the shots Golovkin took from Canelo?
Yeah.
He has one of the best chins in any combat sport I've ever seen.
Canelo was
Golovkin. He took.
Canelo was giving out the harder shots.
Well, I don't know about.
You didn't watch the fight.
I did. I don't know that.
He was giving out the harder shots. He was landing cleaner and more decisively.
highlights
They
of
mentioned
some-
it in the commentating too.
I
So
saw highlights of some of the shots that Golovkin took, and oh my God, does he have a chin? Golovkin
Listen,
has one of the best chins I've
Mayweather's
seen.
been running for years. No, you know, okay, people do complain about it, but let's forget about that. Listen, I don't think it was such a travesty. It was a close fight. Okay, a draw is good enough for me. I'd like to see them go at it again. You know, and on top of it, they learned something about each other. So the next fight, I think, would be better.
Yeah, I think Canelo was going to win a rematch because he has more to learn from it.
Right.
Because he was fighting for like half the round. Like every round, he would fight for half a round and then kind of like.
He was making him miss quite often.
So he would put his back up against the rope. He would do things that.
Right.
He'll learn.
And I think that's the only thing that looked so much in Gennadi's favor. It's not like Gennady was pounding him. He caught him, but I think Canelo hit him more times.
Yeah, but that's aggression
Clean.
and ring control. I'm just saying. I know.
I don't know if that's a thing in boxing, is it?
No. That's more of a thing in boxing than it is in MMA.
Okay, well, whatever.
Even though we've seen some decisions being given to fighters just for pressing forward and not landing anything.
Yeah,
I
no,
also don't
and
think
that's not right either, you know? If you're aggressive, you must be fully aggressive. If you're walking forward and taking all the shots, you're not aggressive, you're falling into someone's trap. That's how I see it.
I think we need
And
to be judges.
did you guys hear there was some commentator who freaked out and bugged out and
Teddy Atlas bugs out all the time. He told Horn in his face when he beat Pacquiao, he's like, I don't think you won the fight. You didn't do this and that and this and that. He told him everything straight to straight.
He's
The
like,
guy's a savage.
he's like, I want to get out of this sport. I want to get out of this sport. I can't be here. I can't stand it. He's like, oh, these guys, they've never taken one fight in their life, one punch to the face. They're killing people's careers. Did you? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I saw that.
He freaked out over it, and I think it was a little premature there, buddy. I've seen worse. I've seen worse calls, you know. So, no, I think it was all right. Personally, I didn't want any of them to lose. I love both of them. I think they're both great fighters, and I think, yeah, both fan favorites. I didn't have like a clean, oh, I want this guy to win. You know, I actually called for Canelo to win. So
Yeah, we sat. Yeah, you did call.
I did.
for
I
Canelo.
called for Canelo to win. And listen, like I said, I was watching it in the car. I was driving on the highway and like looking up and down. But from what I was seeing, Canelo was getting off some great shots. You know, he did not get manhandled. So I think it was a good call. Yes, Gennady was dictating the fight, but Canelo was slipping. He was countering. He was hitting him. He was doing great. I think it was a good call. This time, I think it was a good call. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right in the sense where maybe that was too much.
What, the 118?
one-
Back up against the ropes.
No, that scorecard.
Oh,
You know?
118? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was way too.
I think it was a much closer fight on every
I
round.
have to watch this thing, man.
You know, so I could see it going either way, and I think the draw was the best thing for this fight. I want to see them go at it again, more ready for each other.
Where's Andre at?
I don't know.
But it doesn't matter. Can we ping pong it back to Cody
We
Garbrandt
could go
versus
back.
TJ
Yeah, I wanna
Dillashaw?
talk about Thompson, Masvidal. There's a lot of fights on this.
All right, let's go. This one,
Fuck,
I love
man.
this fight.
I'm excited for this one.
I love this fight. Cody the Killer and TJ the Athlete. Remember we had this conversation.
TJ the snake in the grass.
Yeah, snake in the
He's a
grass.
fucking snake in the grass.
Well, we already spoke about that in a previous episode, but you know, to me, they're both great athletes. Cody's a killer. I give the advantage to the killer, and he embarrassed Cruz.
He didn't embarrass.
He embarrassed
Cruz,
him.
man. He didn't embarrass him.
He embarrassed him. Okay.
All right. Well, if either way he won, he beat Cruz, which is huge. TJ at the time when the decision was announced versus him and Cruz, I thought TJ won. What was it? 3-2. We watched that together.
Yeah, it was really close.
It was Boston. It was a UFC fight night, Boston, and they
Yeah,
and
Eddie Pettis on the co-main.
yeah, no. That happened in April that year. That happened in April last year. This fight it was January. Tell me, man. Barboza versus Pettis.
No, Eddie Pettis.
Eddie Pettis. Yeah. That's true. Sorry, I thought you said Barboza versus Pettis. Because he fought in.
Pettis.
Anyway, but TJ Dillashaw looked like GSP in his last fight, but Cody Garbrandt also showed a side. Before Cody's fight with Dominic Cruz, I would say TJ has this in the bag 100%.
In your face moment coming up.
But after the Cruz fight, I'm looking at both of them as both really complete fighters, and I don't know. This is another fight that's so close. I don't know, but if I had to go with somebody, I think TJ.
Okay.
I think TJ.
I think you're absolutely wrong, but we'll see. Listen, TJ's smart. So is his coach. They could come up with something. Maybe they see something, you know. But seeing something and implementing it during the fight might be two totally different things. You know, I wish both camps good luck. This is something I really want to see, and I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be better than the Bisping St. Pierre fight.
100%.
I'm more looking forward to this fight than I am Bisping St. Pierre.
There's a really interesting factor that
If-
goes into all this. Go ahead.
If
Finish.
Bisping and St. Pierre have a better fight than them, you know, I'd be super surprised. I think that's going to be the main event for me. Love this fight because of the history and because of the fighters. I think it should be a main event on its own. I don't know why it's not. I don't know why they're co-main eventing it with Bisping St. Pierre. I think it should be its own main event. They should have found a different card for these guys.
No, but it's good that they're on this card because they're going to get promotion. People who order this fight for GSP are going to figure out who Cody Garbrandt is, and the UFC wants Cody to be like the next star.
They set this
So
up
for him to
perfectly.
be on another pay-per-view, that's going to make like 200,000. Let's be honest, at this point, put him on this, get his name out there, because he has a really good story. Like he has the look, he has he's like a sweetheart with that kid he brought in, that kid with cancer that he brought into the octagon.
Yeah.
So he could get like a lot of exposure and be the next UFC star.
He could. And he's the guy who almost attacked Connor too.
No, there's-
Straight up,
Yeah.
the one guy who stepped
Yeah, he stepped up. He was going for that choke, but I guess he just didn't have enough reach.
He's always ready to go. He's ready
to go at any time.
24/7.
I want to see him and Connor actually. To tell you the truth.
24/7.
At,
ready to go. No, 65-inch reach.
At 50
47
pounds.
reach.
150 pounds.
Like a 2-inch height difference.
Doesn't matter.
30
Think
pounds
Cody cares?
walking, 20 pounds walking.
Do you
weight
think
difference.
Cody cares?
It doesn't care, but it's also not, there's more that goes into it than them just caring. I'm sure if they were outside, he wouldn't care, but this is MMA. You don't just match up a guy that's 3 weight classes away. Connor, who's fought at his walking weight of 170 versus Cody Garbrandt, who's a natural 135er, and let's say his walking weight is, okay, it's 25 pounds less than Connor's. Even if he puts on a little muscle, it's just a fight that it would be so forced. It would be even more forced than GSP and Bisping, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? It's just a forced fight. You're
I don't
forcing
think Cody.
something.
How tall is he?
5'7".
5'. He's not that short. He's 5'7". Connor's 5'9".
Yeah, but I
That's
don't know.
2 inches. That's nothing.
I don't know. It's a big reach and a big weight
BS.
difference.
BS. Cody would take that fight. You give it to him, he'd take it, and he
Oh,
believe
he would take it,
and
absolutely.
believe me, in his mind, he would think he would win too.
Tango, this
And
fight- something
I don't
else.
see him getting manhandled by Connor either. They both have great striking abilities. I think that would be a great fight.
I think
I
his
wanna see
frame-
that fight
I don't
happen.
think his frame would handle it.
Of course it would. I don't know what you're talking
I
about.
don't think. No.
He's not
It's
small.
He would have not handled Connor's shots. He dropped Diaz. Diaz is Diaz. He doesn't get dropped. He gets dropped. They both get dropped, the Diaz brothers, but they don't get KO'd and Connor dropped Diaz 3 times. Cody's not handling. Connor.
I totally,
He's not even
I
gonna
totally
get on the
disagree.
inside.
I think it would be a great fight.
Not even gonna get on the inside of Connor.
I
And
totally,
respect Cody, man.
I
I know
totally
how good he is.
disagree, and I think it would be a great fight, and I want to see it happen. And I think you're
Well,
seeing
you're not
this
Dana
too.
White. All right.
Oh, believe me, I'm sure Dana White is hoping for him to make as much noise, at least enough noise to get up to challenging Connor one day.
Nowadays, it's whatever sells. So if the janitor that cleans the arena after the event is over can sell against Conor, they'll
It's
do
not
that.
as ridiculous that I think that UFC's been doing a great job with how they've been putting fights together. I think they're doing wonderful. They bring in a lot of attention to
I don't
MMA.
think that's the problem. I don't think the money. I like to see the money fights. or
My
the-
problem is they're
the
ruining.
rankings.
They're ruining.
rankings and the value
No,
of the
they're
belt.
ruining new fighters that are coming in, and that's the problem.
There's potential stars like Mairbek Taisumov. You like that guy a lot. I like him too. They're not giving guys like that a chance. They have no chance in hell.
How do
of
you know
blowing
what's
up.
going on?
What do you mean? Because it's out there. It's in the open. It's
Nothing is out in the open.
Who are our stars?
Nothing
and
is
who
out
aren't?
in the open.
Who are
There's
our
so
stars
much
and who aren't?
going on. What do you think? How
You want to take this
do you
outside?
think? Do you think? Yeah, I do
Fucking
want to
go.
take it
I'm Cody
outside.
Garbrandt, motherfucker.
Let's
I'll
go. Let's go. Let's
I'm
go.
gonna pull guard.
Let's go. Pull guard. If I can take you down, drop you on your head, choke you out.
Gotta get past these hips first.
No problem. I'll drag your head down. I don't need to get.
Something else with the picture I want to bring up, a very recent picture of Connor, and it's funny because you just mentioned like the weight of Connor, and people talk about after they fight Floyd, they get fat. Look at this picture of Connor it was posted a day ago. It looks like he's gaining weight. He's enjoying.
Yeah, but this is that
Yeah,
sloppy
he's
weight.
been yachting.
This is that sloppy weight. This
He's-
is
It
that.
doesn't look like a guy who's gonna make 45.
Anytime soon, right? You're gonna see Conor McGregor. He's like, I'm going for the 85 belt.
George St. Pierre, you fucking pussy.
That could happen. That could happen. It could very well happen.
GSP, you fucking Canadian pussy. I think you are a little drunk. You whiskey drinking.
It's really gonna happen. George wins, and he's gonna fight Connor. Right?
George's trash talk, quote unquote, is the most genuine and the sweetest thing I've ever heard. I think you're
All right, let's
I
go
read
back
a
to what we were talking
Vanguard-
about. You don't know. Maybe they offered some big fights to Taisumov and he didn't accept.
no,
He has
then-
visa issues, I know that. So
And
it's
he's
tough
had-
to get him fights.
And he's pulled out as well. He's pulled out because he has had injuries. So he's pulled out several times. What has he fought? Like twice in the last 2 years or something
Yeah,
like that? You know, it's also not his fault.
You don't know what's going on. You know, I don't think that the UFC's keeping him down. I think what they do is
I
they
didn't
bring
say
in.
they're keeping
I
him
think they
down.
bring in a lot of these new guys. They're champions of pretty decent organizations, right? And they're bringing these guys in, and they're giving them big fights right off the bat because some other guys won't take these fights, and these guys will because they just want to get into the UFC. And they're ruining their careers, and a guy needs to be, built up. He needs to feel the change. He needs to get comfortable. Yeah, you could argue the fact that, if you're tough always. You don't need to be raised. You might have a point there, but still, there are some guys, if they just had a couple of normal fights in the UFC, get their confidence level up high, they might perform better in the future, and UFC would have a few more stars. But I think they're ruining people. But they're doing a great job on the top end. They're doing a wonderful job. I think better than boxing, definitely. I just think that a lot of these news guys are being ruined and not properly matched.
Never
Like
said
in a
that.
sense where you got a guy, he's like 8-0, and you're putting him against a guy who's like 23-3. You know what I mean? Like stand back a little bit. And some guys pull
That's
out, like
not
Cody.
good,
He
man.
pulled out. He was what? Was he like 8-0 when he won his title?
And that's apples and oranges. Chris Weidman beat Anderson Silva at 9-0 when Anderson Silva was 33-2. It was something like, I'm pretty sure I'm accurate with that. So this is
Not
that's the thing.
everyone can do
And I
it.
didn't say that the UFC is ruining anybody necessarily. I said that there's certain guys like Masvidal should be way bigger than he is. He's big, but he should be way bigger than he is. This guy is
I think-
is a superstar in the making, or a superstar.
Listen,
Should be a
he's lost some fights, so you go up
Split decision.
and then you come down. Yeah. Listen, he's
They
had
can
some
promote
trouble.
when they want to. They
I don't
can
think
promote
Masvidal
guys
is
that
having
have
any problem.
45 losing streaks like Chael Sonnen.
My major problem is that there are some guys, right, that should not be fighting these top acts yet.
Fuck, I love this guy Masvidal. His style.
I think he has the best style to beat Woodley, Masvidal, honestly. A guy who's going to push him up against the cage and box him up. Because Woodley puts his back up against the cage. And guys
I don't think he's going to do that with him, to tell you the truth.
better than anyone else in the division, though. Without Roy McDonald, who else could beat Woodley?
I absolutely think that's where.
I think he's going to. I think he would. Listen, you could have said that about. What do you call it?
Fuck,
Robbie
imagine-
Lawler.
imagine Jorge
But he didn't
Masvidal.
give Robbie Lawler that chance, and I don't think he's going to give Masvidal that chance. He gave certain guys that chance it was a tactic. I don't think he'd do that against these guys. I think he'd go through them, and that's what Dana White thinks, that he's much better than sometimes he believes he shows. But I think it's a tactic, and he's sticking to the game plan. And, Dana White's not fighting. These guys are. And they want to retain their belts. They want to keep their money. And, I don't think that Masvidal... I think Masvidal is amazing. Yeah, he's definitely great. But I don't think he's going to give Woodley as much trouble as you guys think.
I think so.
I hate this fight because I think Masvidal, I think very, very highly of him, and I think he could beat Woodley, but this fight, I think it's going to be I think Thompson's going to make it really boring. He has the reach advantage. He's going to, circle, actually 1 inch.
I don't think Thompson's the same fighter he used to be. So,
No, not as aggressive.
How old
but I
is he?
think he's gonna
How old
make
is
a
he?
boring decision
how old is he right now?
when we find out.
Thompson's gonna get a board decision.
Yeah, which
Yeah,
is
very
which
likely,
sucks,
man.
because I want to see Masvidal fight for the title, but this is a bad matchup.
Stephen Thompson's a bad matchup for anybody.
Yeah.
You
It's a
mean
bad matchup,
their
not in
age
the
is
sense-
not on here? It should be, no?
I think I know Maz is 32 or 33.
All right, we'll wait till he gets the information that I'm asking for. But here's the thing: if UFC brings a new guy into into UFC, right? And makes him, or, asks him to fight some really big name or really experienced dude, and the guy loses, they shouldn't look at it as a loss. Because you know how UFC does, where if you have like 2 losses or 3 losses, they might cut you. I don't think they should do that to a guy because they're putting him on the road to destruction. I think they should give him some more chances.
Sounds like St. Jerome to me.
He's 34. But
Yeah, how come he got the chance and other people don't? You know? I think they're messing up on the low end. How old is he?
34.
He's still not that old.
No, Thompson.
He's not that old.
Yeah, well, pretty up there for.
Okay.
guys in their
Yeah,
prime.
but you know what?
I thought he was older. I thought
You
he
know
was
what?
like in 36,
In MMA,
37.
MMA is different. In MMA, everybody has their peak, and these guys everybody comes from a different background in MMA. Like a wrestler like Cormier is only in his prime now, or maybe a year ago, and he at 38, 30. Yoel Romero. Everybody has a different prime. There's guys that peak at 20, 21. Like Shogun won a world title at 23, and at 30 he was an old grandpa. You know,
Yeah,
so.
he won the title, yeah.
Yeah, so right now these guys aren't necessarily at the end of their careers just because their age may.
No, 34 is not at the end of a career.
I know
Let's-
34. I wanna
Since you
think about
brought
the time.
Cormier up, okay, so it's out. B sample, tainted, same thing. John Jones, caught indefinitely, without a doubt, without any explanation. And some people from his camp are still saying that he didn't do it. We know for a fact that he didn't do it.
Yeah, he said, "I swear on my kids and my heavenly Father that I would never do steroids." You know, whether he did or didn't do it is already besides the point. He got caught for something he did or didn't do, and now we're looking at 4-year suspension. So whether he's wrongfully convicted or not, we're looking at the end of John Jones' career, and that's bad.
How old would he be when he comes back? 34?
Yeah. But that's not something to think about.
A
People
guy
think
like
about the
John
now.
Jones could still be the champion.
Yeah,
That-
but the thing about it.
Let me
is
ask you-
we think about the now, not the 4 years from now.
Do you know the answer to this? John Jones. Okay, so what was it? So USADA banned him from UFC. What was it? The Las Vegas Athletic Commission, right? Can he fight somewhere else?
That would be a really bad look for the UFC.
You can't. The contract. With
The UFC wouldn't risk that. The UFC's it's the highest organization. So they wouldn't risk their image that way to have a guy fight. They would lose tons of money just on that, I believe. So I don't think that even if that's a thing, I don't think that's realistic.
That's like in those Indian casinos and stuff like that. That Bellator does, where you don't test. There's no
Yeah, man.
maybe.
It's
They wouldn't do
unrealistic.
that. UFC can't do that. Or if John Jones goes to Russia and fights for like some random organization.
Yeah.
But then again, the contracts, you can't really mess around with that. Unless they release him, like they say. this-
Yeah, I mean, can't he?
Fuck up, like,
Can't he?
release
Can't
him.
he work something out with UFC? And be like, release me from the contract. Maybe some organization could buy his contract from the UFC.
Yo, since when is the UFC so nice to do that? Why would they help another organization?
Why would they want to, make someone sit for 4 years?
I get what you're saying. Like I get that you're exploring the last resort options, but it's just not. They're not realistic. They're just not gonna happen. Like John Jones is not gonna. You're not gonna see him fighting anytime soon in any other organization. That's just the bottom line.
I think
You're gonna see
his
him doing other things maybe.
I think his management and his lawyers should find a way, because it's a shame for this guy to. And you know what really bothers me the most? They were checking him. He was clean. And then the day of the fight, he supposedly drank something. But the steroids hit you that first day?
No, they don't. That's the thing. That's the weird part about this whole thing.
I think if he did steroids, he would know the answer to that, right?
If he did steroids and he wasn't caught any day up until the day of the fight or the day before, whatever it was, then it's possible that he took supplements to hide that. And those supplements don't always show up, the ones that you use to hide. So he could have took something to hide. the steroids.
Well-
and he just fought that one time.
Whatever it is,
Dude.
Cormier's champ again.
I mean, it's sad that it
You're
had to
happy?
No, it's sad that it had to happen this way, but I'm just happy to see Cormier champ. I like him as an athlete, a role model, champion. I know that it's not a good.
I
look for
have
him.
to say, I'm not happy. I love John Jones. And I'm sad that this happened. Of course, it's the right
I'm
thing.
sad for John Jones too.
I'm-
I don't like John Jones.
I say, of course, it's the right thing, but I wanted John Jones to be the champ because he deserves it. Because I think he is the best fighter. And he ruined himself, and
With
that's a shame.
steroids.
With other things, too.
He's the best fighter on steroids.
He's the best He's the best
Not
fighter
that I
on
believe
cocaine,
that.
too, it seems
Yeah,
like.
not that I believe that necessarily, but that's the question that John Jones' legacy will forever have. That's what's sad about this.
I'm
whole
sad about the whole situation, to
Yeah?
tell you the truth.
thing. Yeah, man.
They used to be.
So I guess I was your guest for today. Doesn't matter. I'm going to be generating bigger numbers in the future.
We
Anyway.
just said 55, just
Huh?
like. You wanna follow your
So let's talk about K Dojo because they're
last 5 minutes?
coming up next week.
K Dojo shout out.
All right.
Dojo shout out. You want to show the vids?
K K Dojo had a
No,
nine.
And cash dogs and then.
Yeah, pull
on the computer.
up K Dojo's.
How dare you put Naz's on for second?
That would piss him off.
You might hurt his feelings. Naz, do you want to be first or second?
I don't care. Actually, let my boy be first. I'm the main event of the evening.
Alexander Kestov,
For all 34 people watching,
135 pounds, champ of Ring of Combat. Ring of Combat was also on last Friday, and Kestov took that. Took that. All right, show this one right
shit.
there, right up there. Yes,
That's Keshtov. That's my training partner,
All right.
Alexander Keshtov.
make this bigger. Can you full screen that?
Zoom in, please.
Teep. Oh, boom,
Spinning back kick from hell.
bang, boom. Oh,
Ducked into that too. And the guy
see you later. He noticed that. He noticed that. He noticed that he was ducking.
Oh, by the way, let it rewind. Let it rewind.
It's gonna go.
Yeah, let it go again.
Boom.
Okay, now take a look at his post-fight celebration, or celebration, quote unquote. Look what he does.
He goes to the corner and he sits.
That's how I know he comes from a similar martial arts background that I do. Hand-to-hand combat, sambo in other words. That's what we're taught to do in that.
No
in that
celebrating?
specific part. It's not that it's no celebrating. We walk away and we turn face away from the. It's a traditional Japanese thing. It's when there's a fallen enemy or fallen opponent, you walk away and you sit down on your knees and you look the other way and you give him his time to recover. You respect him.
Can't stop watching that kick. That's honorable. I don't think a lot of people know that.
Yeah, and now look at mine. Look at my celebration. It's coming up.
You're giving the
Coming up.
you're giving the suck this.
Also, one of the reasons I don't like to celebrate as much also is I took words from Mike Tyson.
Let's see. Let's see.
Put the volume up.
Wait, camera just went off. I gotta restart it.
Oh, great.
Alright, it's back.
Good job,
And
camera.
the camera just turns on when the guy.
I actually told
Now
it
look,
to
look,
do
look
that.
what I do. Look what I do. Damn.
You too. You went down.
Yeah.
All right.
So the people watching have to.
Okay. Watch this.
Feeling distance, baited man,
Boom,
lead away
boom,
from the
boom,
jab, set up,
boom.
up, bam.
Bah.
Left straight, right,
See
right
you
hand
later.
behind the ear. That's all she
Good night,
wrote.
Irene. That's all she said.
My humbleness is actually gonna be my own downfall at times because I have to, not talk shit necessarily, but I have to know when to.
Listen,
pat
just
myself
do
on the back
whatever you
sometimes.
feel is right at that moment. It will be you. Okay?
No, not that.
You
not
don't have
that.
to put on any
I'm saying in
act.
general. I'm saying in general. I just Not, it just give myself a pat on the back sometimes. I never do that. Boom, boom.
Boom. Peppering with the jabs. Hit him with that right because
The
he
left,
circled.
left.
I'm sorry. Hit him with the left because he circled that way.
Before I did that, I stepped on the outside of his left foot, which is a classical southpaw versus orthodox tactic, because he had me on the outside at first. Which, speaking of which, he didn't have a bad jab. He wasn't an elite striker, but he had his 1-2 things that he did well, like a front. He had a Shotokan background, I believe. He was a black belt in Shotokan, so he had a good front kick. It was a very different front kick than like a classic Thai style teep. It was. He would lift his knee up and shoot it straight. Oh, sorry, shoot it straight like a dagger. And he had a good jab. He had long arms, so he had a good jab.
That's how it's supposed to be done. A lot of people just kick up with it.
Yeah,
No,
he has a good.
even the Muay Thai way is up and out. Boom! It's like you hip out. He's doing it right. That was beautiful.
I was so happy with the. Oh, by the way, scroll down for a second.
Yeah, they're coming.
Open this photo.
You want to look at yourself some more? You want to look at yourself some
Open
more?
the photo. Let's. Oh, open the photo. Now, what you see here, you see a machine. My triceps,
Put on the
biceps,
other.
my
Put on
wrists,
the other picture.
my wrists and knuckles are built for destruction. It's equivalent to hanging. It's equivalent to hanging a brick at the end of a chain and swinging that brick.
Can you
full force.
put up a picture like
Now-
a picture of
Now
modesty
the handsome
up there?
the handsome
Like
face
some
is
sort of,
deceiving.
like,
You would
note?
think I'm a guy that can't scrap, is not ready to go at any given time. But Mark, make no mistake. I chose the wrong Conor McGregor quote. Make no mistake, I am ready to go at any time. As pretty as I am, as good looking
Let's
as I am,
close that.
as defined as my body is, as
He can't
perfect
stop
as his
talking about
physique is,
himself.
He said he doesn't.
I am ready to go at any time. Trust me, I'm from Brooklyn with the Zeri
All
roots.
right.
I'm ready to go at
And
any
that's
time.
and that's when he won the belt, Ring of Combat, in Pro. I think he's going to go to
Oh,
UFC.
you know what's funny?
Hold on a second. Hold
That
on.
ref, this is interesting.
Hold on a second. I think he's going to go to UFC pretty quickly, and if he doesn't, it would be a shame because he would destroy the last guy who was the champion. He's that good. He's been training over here with us, right? He's been training with Levon. They've been sparring together, and the guy is awesome. And I know both of them, and this guy would eat the last champ up. All right, so.
Now let's go back to my photo of my body.
So please don't put his photo up anymore.
All right.
Anything you do, but don't put
Hold
his
up, hold
photo up.
By the way, that ref, right? That ref that
Oh,
we
yes.
saw raising Alexander's hand was the ref for my fight also, or he was there that night for sure. So basically, back to back, he was watching reffing 2K Dojo. I actually don't remember who my ref was, strange enough, but I think it was that guy. He wrote a comment. I'll show you the comment right now. Actually, I'll read the comment out loud. We're not gonna pull it up or anything, but I'll read the comment out loud. He wrote, "These K Dojo guys are unreal. Pros and Ami, no scrubs. All of them finishers. Very scary gym." So this guy witnessed 2 brutal knockouts back to back, 2 days in a row, reffing both of the K Dojo guys. So I just thought that was interesting, and I thought also that I'm handsome and good looking in that photo with my shirt off at the weigh-ins. Nah, man, it was more than okay. It was more than okay, man.
I'm speechless right now. Would you like to get
wanted
in?
this. You wanted this. Man. You wanted this. Man.
Yeah. Would you like to add anything else about yourself?
No, that's for a different month of podcasting. It's for a different week. That's an episode in and itself. We're gonna open up a picture. I'm gonna take a bunch of selfies, a bunch of shirtless selfies, and we're just gonna go over every single one of them, 20 minutes by 20 minutes. 4-hour podcast special. Imagine that's the one that gets the most
Let's
views.
forget about everything and talk about Nas for another hour. How about that? Okay. Other things that are. First of all, what I want to talk about is also Joanna Jędrzejczyk. Did I say it right?
That's my dude right there.
That's my dude too. I love that girl. She's awesome, and she's a woman,
fucking
100% through and through. and she's a badass.
She's a
And
beast.
I'm sorry,
Monster.
Rose is gonna get whooped that night.
You've always said that Rose is going to be the one.
Yeah,
Could be the one. To
but
beat.
not at this stage. Not at this point. Not at this point.
You didn't know enough about Joanna then.
No.
No, you said it recently. That Rose is getting better.
Listen, Joanna is a monster. Yes, she does have 90% of winning this chance, but I think Rose is really good. And if there is anybody that has more than 2% chance of beating Joanna, it's Rose.
That's not good. 2% are not good
Listen,
odds.
anybody fighting
You-
Joanna is not. That's not good for them. of
Last
course.
week, Carlo even mentioned that there are some girls that are really awesome, and then the rest, they're just not good enough. And I think that's what we're gonna. Rose is up there. She's the best of the girls, and then, Joanna, she's just on a different level. I think she's just too good for everyone. And the only other girl that gives her problems is the. No, there was a. What
There's
do you
a
call
certain
it? There's
difference.
another Polish girl that she fought.
Oh, Carly.
Yeah.
Things. There's a certain.
Claudia Goodell, actually, you know what? She was taking her down, but she tired out. She couldn't. Yeah, there's like 3 other girls that are at the level, but she's just a little bit better than everybody else.
Not a little bit, man. She's.
Enough to win fights.
Yeah, enough to win fights.
Enough to win fights better.
Well, you know what, Tango? I think what I was gonna say is there's a specific way when you watch a girl and a guy fight. You see a girl fighting a specific way, so you know it's a girl fighting, and then you know it's when a guy's fighting. Now, Joanna is one of those girls. When you watch her fight, you think it's fucking Jose Aldo in his prime.
Yeah. That's what. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
So I think she is one of those rare like Cyborg at the one.
Oh, everyone went. Everyone was like.
Oh, I heard. I heard. I
Did you know that UFC has her on as a male fighter? Booyakasha!
No, but Dana White's he's been an asshole about that. He said that before. He was fucked up.
Listen, he's not wrong. She has done so much. All right, she has done so much steroids, testosterone boosters in her life. I don't consider her a woman anymore. All right, Joanna's a woman, and she's a badass woman. She's the type of woman you see in comic books. She's the type of woman you see in Conan the Barbarian stories. She is the woman that everyone wants, and she's pretty too.
Yeah.
So she will kick your ass, and
Pretty nice, soft spoken,
and she can look.
and just super cool.
And a good trash talker.
And she's super cool.
Yeah.
She's not even a trash talker. She's intense.
She's got
Let's
gleaming
fucking
blue
go.
eyes. She's gorgeous, and she's badass.
But so is Rose. So is Rose.
Rose is
beautiful,
gorgeous too. Yeah.
Just gonna get her ass kicked.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think so. I think if Rose wins, I'm gonna be one of the people that isn't. Is surprised but not shocked.
Do you think Rose cut her hair because she didn't want to be looked at as the pretty girl?
No. Do you know what the story behind it?
No.
Spit it, DJ.
Spit it.
Paige Van Zandt said she was going to shave her head for cancer or some organization, and she ended up not doing it. So Rose kind of said, like, "Fuck it, I'll do it," which was gangster as fuck for her to do that.
She is gangster.
You
And
went
she
to-
didn't grow it back.
No, she didn't. I think she was uncomfortable.
Yeah, she's like, oh, I don't have to tie my hair in knots anymore. She's a pretty girl, and she cut off all her hair for cancer. Good cause. I didn't know that, but
Have you
I don't
seen
know.
her with long hair, dressed up? She's really sexy.
that's what I'm
So-
saying. She. But you know what? Some people. There's some hot girls.
Rose.
There's some hot.
Love it.
There's some hot girls when they shave their hair, they don't look hot anymore. Rose is still looking awesome.
Yeah,
with
I
shaved
agree.
hair.
Different girls pull off, like, some girls don't look good with the shaved side. Some of them look sexy with that thing. And some
Oh, the
girls
shaved
look-
side?
Yeah, like Amber
You gotta pull
Rose
that off.
fucking
You
pulled-
gotta pull that off.
Yeah, so it's your look, it's your body, it's your facial structure, it's just everything. You have to be able to pull it off.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you're right. She does pull it off. I don't know. I still prefer her with long hair, but you're right. She still looks good even with the short hair.
So, it's a pretty stacked card, this one. I actually want to see these two fights more than Bisping GSP, believe it or not.
Joanna?
As a fight.
I'm always looking forward to Joanna. I'm always looking to. There's always a border in between.
I'm done with Hendricks, to tell you the truth. I don't want to watch his fights anymore. That's just my...
Well, he doesn't want to watch your shitty podcast.
Oh, let's talk about this fight. Because we know Randy and Gall is in Jersey. This is going to be cool. Would you have any predictions about this?
Gall by spinning, jumping, axe kick. No. Randy's going to outbox him, walk him down, cut off angles, and stuff Mickey Gall's takedowns. Which, if Mickey Gall has any chance, it would be the takedowns.
You don't know much about Mickey, but I think Randy Brown.
Yeah, of
Actually,
course. I think it's Randy. I think
I take that back.
I think Mickey
we
Mickey got lucky. He's good. I'm not saying that he's bad.
I mean, we just.
I just don't think that a guy like he can do those. He can perform like he did in his last few fights against a guy like Randy Brown. Randy Brown, I think, is going to wipe the floor with him. And I do mean wipe the floor. I don't mean that Randy Brown will win. I think he will destroy Mickey Gall.
Well, Randy Brown's weakness is what Mickey Gall's strength is, too. So
What?
Getting taken down and submitted.
Mickey Gall's not a takedown guy.
I mean, listen, Randy Brown
He's a
has 2
jiu-jitsu
losses.
guy.
Randy Brown has 2 losses. All right?
I don't think
Mickey
he'll be able
Gall
to take...
has 4 fights. So it's the experience.
Who did Mickey Gall fight? We know who he fought.
No, yeah. He fought, actually,
You got
a
in the
legend.
UFC after 1 or no?
He fought a legend.
No, he went straight
fought a
from
Hall of Famer.
he went straight from an amateur record into the UFC.
No. He went 1-0. He was 1-0. He made his pro debut on Dead Serious.
Bring it up. Bring up.
That's for sure, because he fought.
If I'm right, we pull up the picture of me without a shirt again.
All right, go ahead. Pull it up. Pull it up. Pull it up.
1-0, and he got it to the UFC and became 2-0 with that win.
Let's see.
Yeah, 3-0 in the UFC. Should pull it up.
And what do you mean? Wait a second.
So they don't show his first fight, but I'll pull it up.
Put up mixedmartialarts.com, please.
Yo, what's the time, by the way?
We're over an hour.
Yeah, it's too late to have Andre already.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess he got held up.
Save him for fucking next week.
Next week we got K Dojo coming, so
So he has to reserve his spot.
we're gonna have to book him a later time.
Are we gonna say who we have upcoming, or did you already say it? You said who's gonna be
Yeah.
next week and the week
Yeah.
after that.
No, we just said K Dojo, but we'll get some. We'll announce it the week before usually.
He's fucking up. I think we have to fire him.
Oh man, come on! How long is that gonna take?
Let's hire Levon behind the
No, not Wikipedia. Mixedmartialarts.com. All right. Win. Okay. That's serious. It was a pro or amateur?
Pro.
It says so.
Yeah, because he's 4
He just doesn't believe it. He doesn't believe his fucking eyes.
Oh, he's 4-0.
There's no way he
Pull
can.
up the fucking picture.
Oh, okay. I thought he went straight in. Okay, that's cool.
If that's the case, I should be.
I didn't know that Dead Serious was doing pro fights back then. I guess that was one of their first shows where they did a pro card.
Yeah, they did. That, and I think that was.
That was their first show?
Back in the day, Dead Serious was an amateur branch of combat.
Okay.
But it doesn't matter because CFFC is the best.
All right. Well, let's talk about one more dude. and
Shout out to
Andre, sit up close to the mic. Andre was supposed to be here and talk about his teammate, but Gregor Gillespie destroyed his opponent. It was like a few punch exchanges, takedown, then control from mount, arm triangle choke, destruction. Gregor Gillespie from Belmore Kickboxing did an awesome job. Did you watch that?
I didn't watch it, but I know who Gregor is. He's the real deal. I've seen him I've seen him fight live actually in Ring of Combat. I think twice. I know who he is. I know that he's an NCAA wrestling champion. I know he's strong, and know that when he wants to take you down, he'll take you down.
Yeah.
I know these things about him. And I know that Levon goes over there and spars with him.
Yeah.
And
He's unbelievable,
his
this
career,
guy.
His run in the UFC has been impressive. So best of luck to him.
Yeah, he's unbelievable. And
Nice to see a tri-state fighter.
I'll tell you this, that this is the guy that Nurmagomedov does not want to face.
No, I don't say does not want to.
Believe me.
First of all, I'm talking about my boy, Nurmagomedov.
This is, well, Gregor's my boy, all right?
No, well, listen,
This is the guy he does not want to face.
With some experience. With
No,
some
right
more
now I'm
fight-
sure he doesn't. But you know what? He was on the main card this time. And he showed well.
Interesting.
He'll
I
be
actually
on
know
the
this.
main card next time,
I know
too.
this. I think you told me this. Cowboy Cerrone, when he was slated to fight Khabib Nurmagomedov, he called, I believe, I think it was Gregor Gillespie.
Yeah.
He called him over to do the camp with him because Gregor Gillespie was the only wrestler who had the credentials, not the credentials, but the level to help him prepare for
yeah.
Nurmagomedov.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I can see why
And
you're
I
saying
remember
that.
Gregor saying that,
I can see why you're saying that.
Cerrone is great. He kept getting better at stopping the takedowns, kept getting better and better and better. Listen, Gregor is amazing, man. These guys, this guy, I don't know what's going to happen in the future in the lightweight, but if Nurmagomedov has to face him, Gregor Gillespie, he's in trouble.
Best of luck. Best of luck.
He's in trouble.
I wouldn't be mad
He
to see
can't.
a
He
tri-state fighter come
can't
up.
do to Gregor what he does to everybody else. He's gonna have to change his game plan altogether.
That's good, but that's just another one of those things. It's like Mayabek Taisumov. You say Tony Ferguson hasn't fought Mayabek Taisumov yet, but Mayabek is not even in top 15. Gregor, these guys, they're not in top 15 yet. They have to get there for there to be a talk. Otherwise, I can also fight Khabib. It's like you can also start comparing how I would do against Khabib.
I'm saying that Gregor's gonna be on the main event next time again, and it will be someone a little more noticeable.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Good for him. And best of luck to
Listen,
him.
his last two
I
fights,
think he has.
his last two fights, he's fought giants. These guys are effing giants.
He doesn't
Where do
cut a
they
lot of weight.
find
He said
these
it
guys?
before. He said it before. Gregor, I know he doesn't cut a lot of weight, so he's actually not.
Yeah, he walks around 170, and you know,
Yeah, maybe.
he cuts down to 55,
He
15
looks
pounds.
like he doesn't cut a lot.
Yeah, no, he doesn't cut a lot.
He's a strong guy. He's built strong. He's a wrestler, but he doesn't cut a lot.
But where are
He's not a
these
big guy.
finding these guys? They're like 6'4" at 155.
Seriously, what the fuck?
And the guy before was gigantic too. These guys are giants at 55.
the fuck are they doing at 155, man?
I don't know how they even make it down there, to tell you the truth.
Skinnier guys, taller guys have a harder time losing weight. They have, it's much harder for a taller, lankier guy to cut weight and lose weight, and especially water weight than a stockier, shorter guy. So a guy that's 6'4".
I think a lot of these guys would do better at 70.
You ever heard of James? Vick?
Everyone's trying to get this silly advantage. If you're 6'4", dude, go to 70. Go to 85. What the hell are you doing at 155? What are you doing? You're getting beat by a guy who walks around at 70. I'm talking, that's before he starts, training. He cuts 15 pounds in the whole training camp. And he's manhandling you guys. Obviously, you're not strong enough. You're not feeling good at 55.
Yeah, you're not strong enough at 55 because you're cutting so much.
Yeah,
weight.
you're not feeling good at
I
55.
also hate. I've always hated this 30-pound weight cut thing. Like guys that are 185ers, 190, 195, even fucking 200. I heard Rafael dos Anjos gets up to.
Right.
Going down to 155, man. That's. Never mind the fact that it's like, you don't. If you can get that advantage of of being that much bigger in the weight class, and you can make the weight, fine. You have the size advantage, you have the weight advantage, but you're actually realistically you're the dummy and you're at the disadvantage because you're taking away years from your life cutting that much weight. It's just not healthy. A guy that's 200, making himself a smaller human being by 3 times just to cut 40 pounds is, I imagine, not too healthy. So in the long run, these guys, they have their weight advantages in the fight, but it's not a good thing in the long term for their life. So that's another thing why I would suggest everybody to not cut 40 pounds and fight in a weight class that they're 15 pounds, 10 pounds
These
away
guys are
from.
cutting like 50 pounds, some of them, you know?
Johnny Hendricks, he was cutting from 215 to 170. And my thing is, I think that was one of the things that was his downfall. It was just one fight, it was just boom.
Yeah.
Body couldn't take it anymore. And he's never made the weight since, or he's missed the weight like two or three times since then. So that speaks for itself.
Anything you want to talk about? I think we're coming near the end of our show. Episode
I'll
4.
tell you what I want to talk about.
Episode 4.
DJ, Instagram.
Can you put his picture up one more time, please? No, don't. I'm joking.
We had a great discussion.
I think the mirror.
I'm getting more comfortable with this.
I think the mirror in the gym also put up a "Do Not Disturb" sign.
The mirror in the gym?
Yeah.
It has no choice.
It said.
Obliterate.
It put it up. Nas, do not disturb.
Listen, I would be scared of me too if I was a mirror. Looking at me in that physique and
So what weight class? You're going pro now, right?
Yeah.
What weight class?
I want to see. I have some time in between until December. I want to see.
How tall are you?
5'9", 5'10". 5'9", 5'10", the tallest. 5'4" at least.
If you do 45, you will be one of the biggest guys there. How long is your reach?
I don't, Tango, I've never fought anybody that I was bigger than 2 times. I have a lot of amateur fights, a lot.
I would go into 45 if I were
I
you.
was only bigger twice in my life than my opponents, to my memory. Everybody's bigger, taller, cut more weight.
I would go into 45 if I were you. That's my suggestion.
I'm also 23. I'm gaining size, weight. It's getting harder and harder for me to make 145. A year ago, I had my mind set that when I turn pro, I'm gonna be 45. Today, I'm already beginning to think a little bit differently. And like I told you before, I want to take some time this month, the rest of this month, and a little bit of beginning of the next month to really gain some strength, to really put on some. So let's see where it goes.
Okay.
See where it goes.
All right.
I'll know exactly my answer by the time the fight's probably going to be slated, which is I'm thinking towards the end of October.
How much you walking around right now?
My fat ass has been eating nonstop, but usually when I'm not eating like a pig and I'm just chilling, I'm 172 at most.
Okay, when
And
you
when I
are
am a
eating
fat
like a
ass-
pig?
When I am eating like a pig, 76, 75, 76. And even when I'm not eating like a pig, I would even say 69, 70, honestly. 69, 70.
Okay.
45 does seem like
Yeah.
the smart thing because I'll be a 25-pound weight cut, but I'm actually looking to put on muscle and be 175 muscle solid and just cut those 20 pounds.
You want to be 175 jacked.
Yeah, and I like 155 better anyway. I just like the competition that there is now, that there always has been. 155 was always a crazy weight class, and that's what I want to be part of. I want to be the best in the craziest weight class.
All right.
Seriously, I'm not.
So we're going to have your coach on next week, all right? And he's going to bring in that Ring of Combat belt. And we're going to talk about the rise of K Dojo and the rise of Marat. What's his last name?
Murat Keshtov.
Marat Keshtov, yes. All right.
And the rise of Tango. We got a fucking future out here.
Oh, don't worry. I'm not worried. We could still look at pictures of you still for now.
No, that goes without saying.
Yes.
That's what we're doing next week with Murat. We're pulling up pictures of
We're going to pull out pictures of you. Thank you, R10. Thank you, Nas.
Thank you, Tango. Love you, man.
Love you too. You shined this week. I think the personality came out.
Yeah, no.
My man, give it to me.
I'm getting more comfortable on this
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, my post-fight interview in CFFC, it's not that I didn't like it. It was a little bit like the the interviewer, he kind of like hugged me and held me
Did
tight. I
you
was
happen to
surprised.
say what a handsome man Tango is?
I didn't get the chance to. I didn't get the chance to discuss
You didn't
that.
happen to say how handsome I am?
No, I didn't get the chance
Ah,
to.
you
It was
suck.
at the tip of my tongue, but I had to only talk about
You didn't
myself.
say I want to thank Tango
had to
for
talk
being
about the
such a
finish.
handsome man?
Huh? I had to talk about the finish. I wanted to do shout outs. I wanted to honor my friend who passed away, rest in peace, like 2 months ago. I wanted to say, I had a, in my
And
mind,
they didn't give you the talking chance?
They did, but they asked me like, run us through this. It was just so quick and rushed, and it was so forced.
That's why you see a lot of fighters, they're like, first of all, I want to say this, and then they answer that question.
Yeah.
Because once you answer that question, they walk away.
Now I know. Listen,
Yeah.
now I know. Because but, like he just ran up, grabbed me.
Uh-huh.
He's like, "All right, Nazim," and he's like asking me the question. The mic is in my mouth.
You should have just been like, yo.
Yeah, right. Give me some fucking space, man.
That's his move, if you guys don't
That's
know
not my
that.
move. That's the McGregor thing. Bro. I know how to do imitations of GSP, McGregor, all of them.
All of them. All right, guys. So we'll see you next week. And thanks for watching.
Fuck this.
Ciao. Booyah.